Welcome to episode 65 of our Sperduti Fitness podcast. I'm your host, Brian. I'm here with my co-host, Beth. Before we jump into today's podcast, Coach Beth's going to take us through a few announcements.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Here we go. Another night, another Tuesday. We're bringing you some hot topics. But before we get into our podcast topic tonight, you guys got to know, you got to get in the know. The Sperduti Fitness 12-week transformation challenge has launched. It's open for the next enrollment starting on April 3rd. $500 cash prize to the winner. This is the first transformation program to combine fitness and nutrition education. This transformation challenge, again, it's going to start Monday, April 3rd. Head over to the Sperduti Fitness Facebook page, click on that 12-week transformation link, grab your friend, and let's go. Now, let's get into tonight's topic.
Awesome. Let me scroll up really quick because I was lost in the sauce there for a second.
55, you guys, talking about polycystic ovary syndrome, also known as PCOS.
PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And before we jump into it, we're actually going to explain what it actually is. So PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a hormonal disorder that affects women of the reproductive age. It is a common condition that affects around 10% of women globally. In PCOS, the ovaries produce abnormally high levels of androgens, male hormones, which can interfere with the normal ovulation and menstrual cycles. The condition can also cause the development of small cysts on the ovaries. The exact cause of PCOS is unknown, but it is thought to be related to both genetic and environmental factors. Treatment may involve lifestyle changes such as diet, exercise, medication to regulate menstrual cycles and reduce androgen levels, and fertility treatments for those trying to conceive.
So I'm going to jump into some of those environmental factors that can affect PCOS. So there is evidence to suggest that exposure to certain environmental toxins, such as endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs, may be a risk factor for PCOS. So these EDCs are chemicals that can interfere with normal functioning of hormones in the body. And they're found in a variety of sources, including plastics, pesticides, and cosmetics. Some studies have suggested that exposure to these EDCs may disrupt the hormonal balance in the body and contribute to the development of PCOS. For example, exposure to BPA or bisphenol A, a common chemical found in plastics, has been linked to insulin resistance and higher levels of androgens, those male hormones, in women with PCOS. Some other environmental factors that have been associated with PCOS include air pollution, exposure to certain medications. And some research has suggested that exposure to air pollution may increase the risk of PCOS by promoting insulin resistance and inflammation of the body. Additionally, certain medications such as valproic acid is used to treat epilepsy and bipolar disorder, have been shown to increase the risk of PCOS.
And now we're going to talk about the genetic factors that may contribute to PCOS. And while the exact genetic factors that contribute to PCOS are not fully understood, research suggests that multiple genes may be involved. Studies have shown that PCOS tends to run in families, and researchers have identified several genes that may be associated with the disorder. For example, mutations in the genes that control insulin signaling and metabolism may contribute to insulin resistance, a common feature of PCOS. Other genes that may be involved in PCOS include those that regulate androgen, male hormone production, as well as genes involved in development and function of the ovaries. However, it's important to note that PCOS is a complex disorder and is likely caused by a combination of both genetic and environmental factors. In fact, the expression of these genes may be influenced by environmental factors such as dietary, lifestyle, habits. While genetic testing for PCOS is not currently recommended, or understanding the genetic factors that contribute to PCOS may help researchers develop more effective treatments for the disorder in the future. Additionally, individuals with a family history of PCOS may benefit from lifestyle changes, again, as we talked about, such as a healthy weight, exercise, to help reduce the risk of developing this disorder. It is clear that both genetic and environmental factors are likely to be involved. By identifying family history, genetics, and reducing exposure to potential environmental toxins, it may be possible to reduce the risk of PCOS and improve the outcomes for those who have already been diagnosed. Very interesting.
That is pretty wild. When we
Yeah.
saw that all that information pop up, it was pretty eye-opening. There's going to be many women out there that are wondering, do I have PCOS? What are the symptoms? So I'm going to go over some of the symptoms that PCOS can bring out. So PCOS symptoms can vary from woman to woman, and some women may experience only mild symptoms or no symptoms at all. However, some common symptoms of PCOS may include the following: irregular periods or no periods at all, heavy bleeding during periods, difficulty getting pregnant or infertility, excessive hair growth on the face, chest, and back, thinning hair on the scalp, acne or oily skin, weight gain or difficulty losing weight, darkening of the skin, especially in skin folds such as the neck, groin, and under the breast, sleep apnea, mood changes such as depression and anxiety, and higher risk for developing health problems such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Now, not all women with PCOS will experience all of these symptoms, and some may experience additional symptoms not listed that we've given to you. So if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, it is so important to talk to your doctor or gynecologist, get a proper diagnosis and the right treatment plan.
Yeah, and more than likely, your doctor will send you for blood work to see if you do have PCOS. So blood work is often used to help diagnose PCOS and monitor the condition. Some of the blood tests that may be ordered to help diagnose PCOS include hormonal levels. Women with PCOS, as we talked about, have higher levels of androgens, which is male hormones, such as testosterone. Blood tests can help measure these hormone levels. Glucose levels. Women with PCOS are at an increased risk of developing insulin resistance and diabetes. Both blood tests can help measure glucose levels and determine if there is a risk of developing this condition. Cholesterol levels. Women with PCOS are at an increased risk of developing high cholesterol levels, which can lead to heart disease. Blood tests can help measure cholesterol levels and determine if there's a risk of developing heart disease. Thyroid function. Women with PCOS may also have problems with their thyroid function. Blood tests can help determine if there are any thyroid problems that need to be addressed. Other tests, in some cases, additional blood tests may be ordered to rule out other conditions that can cause similar symptoms. It is important to note that blood tests alone are not enough to diagnose PCOS. Diagnosis is typically made based on a combination of blood work, physical exams, and symptoms. Your doctor or gynecologist can help determine which tests are necessary based on your individual situation.
So important to be working with those healthcare professionals, because I know a lot of the questions that will come up when women are suffering from PCOS is, hey, weight loss, can I still lose weight? So that's something that we wanted to talk about, PCOS and the weight loss option. Weight loss can be an important part of managing PCOS. And excess weight can make the symptoms of PCOS worse. Losing weight can help improve your insulin sensitivity, regulate your menstrual cycles, and reduce your androgen levels, all of which can help manage PCOS symptoms. However, weight loss can be challenging for women with PCOS, as the condition can make it more difficult to lose weight. Women with PCOS tend to have a slower metabolism and they're insulin resistant. So insulin resistance is a condition where the body's cell becomes less responsive to insulin. That's the hormone that plays the crucial role in regulating your blood sugar levels. Your insulin is produced by the pancreas, and it helps to transport your glucose or your sugar from the bloodstream into the cells, where it's then used for energy. In individuals with insulin resistance, the body's cells are less able to respond to insulin, which means that glucose not transported into the cells as effectively. This leads to high levels of glucose in the bloodstream, which can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance is often associated with obesity, lack of physical activity, and an unhealthy diet. It is also a common feature of PCOS, this hormonal disorder that we're talking about that affects women of their reproductive age. To lose weight with PCOS, it is important to focus on a healthy diet and regular exercise. A diet that is low in processed foods, refined carbohydrates, and added sugars can help regulate those insulin levels to promote weight loss. Exercise can also help improve insulin sensitivity and aid in weight loss. It is important to talk to your doctor or healthcare professional to develop a weight loss plan that is safe and effective for you, especially if you have other health conditions or you're taking other medications.
Yeah, and like we're noticing a trend here that no matter what the diagnosis or issue you may be dealing with, they're always recommending proper diet and exercise. Right? This is like a trend with anything that we're talking about or researching is, okay, you have, Hashimoto's disease. Okay, well, make sure you're having a proper diet and exercise. PCOS, proper diet and exercise, and here are some guidelines. So exercise plays such a huge factor in all of this. It's one of the standard prescriptions when you talk to doctors. So PCOS and exercise can be beneficial for women with PCOS as it can help regulate insulin levels, which we talked about with insulin resistance, improve cardiovascular health, and aid in weight loss, which can help manage PCOS symptoms. Regular exercise has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, which can help regulate menstrual cycles and reduce androgen levels. Exercise can also help reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, which are both common in women with PCOS. In terms of weight loss, exercise can help burn calories and build muscle mass, which can help increase your metabolism and promote weight loss. Exercise can also help reduce stress, which can contribute to weight gain and PCOS symptoms. When it comes to choosing an exercise program, of course, it's important to find one that you enjoy and can stick to long-term, as Coach Beth and I often talk about. Activities such as walking, cycling, and most importantly, strength training can be beneficial for women with PCOS. High-intensity interval training has also been shown to be effective for improving insulin sensitivity and reducing body weight in women with PCOS. That's very interesting, so don't be afraid to get in there and train. Push the hit. It is important to start slowly, of course, and increase intensity and duration of workouts, and working with a fitness professional that has knowledge in this area of how to manage your workouts. Consult with your doctor, of course, before starting any type of exercise programs. And of course, keep an open line of communication with your trainer, healthcare professional, and doctor on any medication that you are taking. Registered dietitians or certified personal trainers can also help develop safe and effective exercise plans.
Absolutely. And speaking of what else goes hand in hand with exercise is our nutrition. So we're going to talk a little bit about this nutrition and PCOS, because nutrition can play a very important role in managing your PCOS symptoms. As a healthy diet can help regulate your insulin levels, improve your menstrual cycle, and aid in weight loss. So some key nutrition tips for women with PCOS. And honestly, these are just about for everyone anyways. They're very widespread. Choose whole foods. A diet that is rich in whole foods, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein sources, can help regulate insulin levels and improve overall health. Limiting your processed foods. Processed foods, such as sugary snacks, white bread, and fast food, can cause blood sugar levels to spike and worsen your insulin resistance. Focus on your fiber. High fiber foods such as fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes can help regulate your blood sugar levels and improve your digestion. Balancing your macronutrients. A diet that is balanced in carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats can help regulate your blood sugar levels and promote weight loss. Consider a low glycemic diet. A low glycemic diet, which emphasizes foods that have a lower impact on blood sugar levels, can be helpful for regulating insulin levels in women with PCOS. Avoiding trans fats. The trans fats, which are commonly found in processed foods and fried foods, can increase inflammation and worsen your insulin resistance. Stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water can help improve digestion, reduce inflammation, and aid in weight loss. And consider some supplementation with your healthcare professional if they feel fit and see that you are struggling with your diet. There are some supplements, omega-3 fatty acids, and some others that have shown to be helpful for improving insulin resistance and regulating menstrual cycles in women with PCOS.
And something that Coach Beth and I can't stress enough, and I swear we're getting t-shirts made up, is the importance of sleep. And this just happens to be the importance of sleep with people dealing with PCOS, but just the importance of sleep in general. You notice these are like kind of general guidelines that can go along with anything. And we preach a lot of these already. So it's interesting to see that they're really pushing these with people that have PCOS, because these are things we should be doing every day, just in general. Sleep can be an important factor in managing PCOS symptoms, and sleep disturbances can worsen insulin resistance, increase inflammation, and contribute to weight gain, which can all exacerbate PCOS symptoms. Very important. So some helpful tips for improving sleep with people with PCOS or people that don't have PCOS, just help improving sleep. And we talk about this a lot on this podcast. Stick to a regular sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day can help regulate your body's internal clock and improve sleep quality. Create a relaxing environment. Make sure your bedroom is cool, dark, quiet. Avoid using electronics in bed, and consider using a white noise machine or earplugs to block out noise. Practice good sleep hygiene. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals before bedtime. Develop a relaxing bedtime routine, such as a warm bath or practicing yoga or meditation. Exercise regularly. Regular exercise can help improve sleep quality and reduce stress, which can contribute to the sleep disturbances. Manage stress. Stress can interfere with sleep quality and exacerbate PCOS symptoms. Consider practicing relaxation techniques, deep breathing, meditation, journaling to help manage stress. Address underlying sleep disorders. Sleep apnea and other sleep disorders are more common in women with PCOS. If you suspect that you have a sleep disorder, talk to your healthcare provider about getting a sleep study, which we have talked about on this show before. Improving sleep quality can help improve overall health and well-being in women with PCOS. If you continue to have difficulty sleeping, talk to your healthcare provider about other treatments such as cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia or medications.
And there are also some other ways that we can help control PCOS, and it's with birth control. So birth control pills are often used as a treatment option for PCOS, as they can help regulate your menstrual cycles and reduce the levels of androgens, those male hormones in the body, which can help reduce your symptoms such as acne, excess hair growth, and those irregular periods. However, it is important to note that birth control pills are not a cure for PCOS, and they do not address the underlying insulin resistance, which is often a contributing factor to PCOS symptoms. So here are some things to consider when using birth control treatment options for PCOS. Talking to that healthcare provider, discuss your options with your healthcare provider, including the type of birth control pill that may be best for you on your individual needs and goals. Be consistent with those. Birth control pills are most effective when taken at the same time every day. Set a reminder or use an app to help remember to take your pill. This is also for, I love using reminders, using it in your phone, your app, because you can use it for so many different things. Monitoring your symptoms, self-reflection. This is something I talk so much about. Keep track of any changes in your symptoms while using the birth control pills, and report any concerns to your healthcare provider. The more data, the better. Consider non-hormonal options. If you prefer not to use hormonal birth control, there are some non-hormonal options such as condoms, diaphragms, or the copper IUDs that may be an option. So address those underlying insulin resistance with your birth controls. They do not address the underlying insulin resistance, right? Which is often a contributing factor to PCOS symptoms. Work with your healthcare provider to develop a personalized treatment plan that includes lifestyle modifications such as exercise, diet, and medications to address your insulin resistance. It is important to remember that birth control pills are not the only treatment for PCOS, and not all women with PCOS may be candidates for birth control pills. So talk to their healthcare provider and find those options that may be best for you.
Yeah, so with PCOS and birth control, it's a treatment, not a cure. So there's still underlying factors you want to address, which is really important. And this is why I always say, keep an open line of communication with your trainer and keep them in the loop. I know Coach Beth feels the same way. There's no TMI. There's not. Like,
I love when clients are finally like all of a sudden, and then it always starts with this. The text always starts with, "This is going to be weird." And I'm like, "No, it's not."
And we're like, go. Bring it.
Let's get in it. Been there, done that.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's so true though. You let us know what's going on, because that better helps us gauge the adjustments that need to be made. And also, whether it's out of our scope, if it's something that's out of our scope, we can we have enough we've had enough, professionals, health professionals on this podcast where we can actually recommend or point you in the right direction for more help, more in-depth help. So living with PCOS can be challenging, as it can affect many aspects of a woman's life, from physical health to emotional well-being. Here are some tips for living with PCOS. This is big. Educate yourself. Learn as much as you can about PCOS and its symptoms, so you can better understand your own condition and make informed decisions about your healthcare. Seek support. Connect with other women with PCOS through an online group, support groups, or in-person meetings. Support from friends and family can also help. Focus on self-care. Self-care practices such as getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and practicing stress-reducing activities can help manage PCOS symptoms and improve your overall well-being. Stay active. Regular exercise can help regulate menstrual cycles, reduce insulin resistance, and aid in weight loss. Find activities that you enjoy and make them a regular part of your routine. Manage stress. Stress can exacerbate PCOS symptoms, so it's important to develop healthy coping strategies such as meditation and yoga or therapy. Communicate with your healthcare provider and personal trainer. Work with your healthcare provider to develop a personalized treatment plan that meets your individual needs and goals. Make sure to communicate any changes in your symptoms or concerns about your treatment. Advocate for yourself. PCOS can be a complex condition, and it may take time to find the right treatment and approach. Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek second opinions, or advocate for yourself in your healthcare journey. Remember, living with PCOS is a journey, and there are many ups and downs along the way. With the right support and self-care practices, however, it is possible to manage symptoms and lead a healthy, fulfilling life.
I'm telling you, Brian, all of these things just really roll over from every part of life. And it just keeps coming down to your nutrition, your exercise, your self-care. It's repetitive, and it's just, man, if more people would just start getting on, just believe it. Your self-care is no spa days. It's going to see your doctors. It's making the time for yourself. It's stress management. It's so important.
And that's what we talk about. Educate yourself. And we preach that across the board. I always say, when you journal and you log, that's why when we have clients log their daily information, we're not just like, what'd you eat? We're like, how was your day? How was your stress level? Is this common? I see your sleep is only 4 hours a night. Can we work on that? Oh, you can't sleep because of stress? Oh, maybe you should go for a sleep study, because if you can improve sleep, you can improve weight loss, you can reduce stress. What type of recovery are you doing? It's not just go hard in the yard and eat. There's so many other factors that come into play. And we're seeing a trend that even being diagnosed with something, you still have to make sure you're exercising on a regular basis. You still have to make sure that you are managing stress, and you still have to make sure you're eating a healthy, well-balanced diet.
100%. And if anybody has any questions for Brian or myself, you can reach us at myself, Beth, at SperdutiFitness.com, Brian at SperdutiFitness.com. And we hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. And if you are a healthcare provider that is well-versed in this area, we would love to have you on and go into more depth in this topic. We do not claim to be doctors or experts in this area, but we are here to start the conversation. You can find our podcast on the Sperduti Fitness Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Please share, like, and comment, and we will hope to see you guys on the next episode.
We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye.